What's up, legends? Welcome back to Trade Travel Chill. What an amazing move we had on Bitcoin last night. I'm going to get into that. We're going to talk about the zones and what we were looking out for yesterday in order to get this pivot. And then, of course, where we are now and what we're to look for moving forward. So if you're new to this channel, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. Massive shout out to the TTC tribe. You guys absolutely nailed this trade yesterday. And the best part about it was that you did it on your own accord, did it without much guidance from myself and the team, which just makes me so proud because it goes to show that the time and the dedication into learning the method is really starting to pay off. I mean, let's have a look at some of these results that we've got going on in Discord. Brat Jade with an 11% win, White Wolf 83%, insane. Snack Attack 103%. Let's Learn Crypto sniped a few really good trades here. Here's another one, 180%, 31%, 31%, 22%, 143%. 13, and the list just goes on. Well done, guys. I'm so proud of you, especially because the vibe when this little move right here happened was just so chill and relaxed, and that's how I like you guys to approach your trading. We don't want to be making decisions whilst we're in panic mode. So let's talk about this price action before we get into smaller timeframes and what is actually going on. Because we've had a big move, we need to zoom out and have a look at the daily time frame. By the way, I will just point out that we did have a full moon and price spiked right on that full moon. But here we go, looking at the daily. So we had a blue vector, would have liked it to be green, would have brought in more volume, but it's blue, and it did cross us back above the 50 EMA. The current daily candle, which of course still has 14 hours to go, so anything can happen. The current daily candle looks like it's coming to do the retest. So we need to see how this candle closes tomorrow to see if we're going to actually be able to maintain price above the 50 EMA. So good start. Now we need confirmation. Moving to the 4-hour time frame. On yesterday's update, we talked about this being drop level 1, this being drop level 2, and the move to the downside that had happened before my video had the potential to be drop level 3, meaning that the formation had potentially played out on the 4-hour time frame, and that is why we needed to then divert our attention to the smaller time frames to see if we start getting that hint of a pivot. Down to the 15 time frame. Now let's talk about what actually happened. So as we know, we've got to count our levels moving back from the weekend trap. We know that this week was, oh, by the way, guys, I had so many comments on my video yesterday from people saying, nice haircut. My hair's all here. I haven't cut it. I just had it tied in a bun. So yeah, I can't get rid of these locks because there are days where I need this head of hair to cover my face. Short hair just doesn't do that. So no haircut for me, just a bun. But thank you for noticing my appearance. Anyway, false move. We had the M formation that followed. We had the breakdown, the retest, another break. Now here's what was tricky about this pivot right here. The market maker was actually really quite tricky with us because it looked like here that they gave the W formation. At this point in time, it would have been fair to think that that candle right there was a W formation. And if you took a long off that, you would have got stopped out here. That's what happens. But also, if you were more conservative about it, then you would have seen that there was only 2 level drops, drop level 1, drop level 2. There wasn't actually a drop level 3. So to take the W there kind of was a bit tricky anyway, and we really needed to wait for confirmation. However, I will tell you this, and I don't see this very often, I very rarely see this actually. And so if you didn't pick it up, don't be hard on yourself because I'm telling you that this is quite advanced. Sometimes a level 3 drop can also be level 1 rise. And like I said, it is very rare for that to happen. And when I say rare, I would probably see it once in a year, to be honest with you. That is what I think happened in this case because we can identify our drop 1, we can identify our drop 2. And when this happened, we're kind of like, hang on, we don't have a drop 3. And what ended up happening was the trick was created to get people to go long off this support. And then they spiked price down. We can see we had a liquidation level just below the larger liquidations that were taken out on this wick. So they were gone, but we had a larger level down here at 28,647. And we also had pretty high level long orders in Binance at 28,500. Now, knowing that those heat map orders are in a $25 range, this wick went to 28,549. So kind of close enough. But what I suspect happened here is that when they made this move here to the upside, that's when they go back in to reassess whether or not they've trapped enough people. And that's why we see nothing happen for a little while afterwards. So when you are looking for W and M formations, you always need to see the follow through after what you perceive to be the trigger candle. And there wasn't good follow through on this particular candle right here. And that's sort of your hint that they may then come for lower prices. So I think what happened here was that they spiked it down a little bit lower to get more of a commitment, knowing that stop losses would be below here and that we had this high level liquidation. And that's what makes this green candle drop level 3, because in order for it to have such a large wick, whilst that candle was open, at one point in time, it looked like a scary red candle like this one. Then the wick comes in and it ends up closing green. And that causes the panic and fear, and that's enough. So this candle here got the commitment, and what that ends up becoming then is drop 1, drop 2, drop 3, and those two drops there form what we call a final damage W. Now that's not a technical term, that is a term that I made up, as I have with most of the terms, but anyway, that's what we call it, because that is exactly what it's doing. It's causing the final damage before the move to the upside. Now, can you trade that? If you know what is happening, you can trade that. And that is why I'm shouting out the community, because they picked this up by themselves and many of them caught this trade to the upside, knowing and having confidence that that was a final damage W. However, if you don't have that confidence yet, then it doesn't matter. Let price move, let it break the 50 EMA, which we can see it did here, and then it comes back. As long as it holds above the EMAs, that is your second chance entry to go long. So it doesn't matter if you catch this one or this one, there was 2 opportunities to get that long position. Now we have to count where we are, and we can see on the 15-minute time frame, this counts as level 1 rise because it broke the 50 EMA volume. This counts as 2, and this counts as 3. So if you were only trading the 15-minute time frame, that trade is done. And we can see that they came up. So we marked out these 1 month liquidations yesterday. They came up and took out the 29,750. And then we also had recent new high level at 29,839. So they came and took both of those in Asia today. And this move that's happening right now, this retracement here, that's expected. And I tell you why, because the final rise here was in the dead gap zone. The dead gap zone is the most highly manipulated time zone of the day and not recommended to take entries, because the volume is generally lower, because all of the official markets aren't open, and that makes it easier for like crypto whales to manipulate price and things like that. Or, you know, it could even be some big people selling. And a lot of people say, if, you know, like let's just say US government, a lot of people talk about that. If the US government is selling, that's what dumps price. No, if they're selling, it increases price, because they set the price to sell at and we have to meet them at that. So this could be offloading very big money in the dead gap zone. And so we have to be careful of that. And that's why I said to you, if you took this trade on the 15-minute time frame, the move is over, because this could have just been bags offloading. If you are looking for somewhere to trade this stuff, be sure to check out OKX. We've got a new deal for you guys. If you use the link in the description of this video, you can get access to a lucky draw. Let me show you how this works. So once you click on the link that is in the description of this video, you will be brought to this page. Just click on that Enroll Now button that you see, and then follow the instructions to set up a new account. Once you've done that, scroll down on this page and you will see the option here to have a spin. You can use just the 1 spin by clicking on the button on the left, and then that will give you a prize. Or you can click on the 5 spins on the right, and that will spin 5 times to give you a reward as well. And the more you trade, the more spins you get. So be sure to use that link if you're looking for an exchange to trade on, and give yourself access to many free rewards. Now, how will we know if that's true or not? To me, it's fairly simple from here. If price can hold the previous high of the day around the 200 EMA, which is, let's just say, somewhere around 29,300, if it can hold from there and bounce out, this may be feeding up into higher timeframes, and meaning that we will start looking for 3 level rises on the 1 hour time frame. So this could be a pullback for the 1 hour rises. Let's have a look at the 1 hour time frame. And so on the 1 hour, we can see here, this is rise 1 that broke the 50 EMA volume. Very small period of consolidation, but it does count. This I would count as rise 2. So are we in the phase of a pullback before we get another rise for the 1 hour time frame? Possible, because we're only doing a slow creep right now. I would say US is going to be the one to do it if they do it, but that's kind of what we're looking out for now. Now, this creep can come down as low as it needs to recover all of this volume right here. So this lowest candle right here is going to match up around the 200 EMA. We ideally want it to hold the high of the day if we think that there's going to be more upside. So the high of the day from yesterday, as I said, was around 29,300. Now, what about if it's not going to? What about if that was the false move because it's big money selling to us and we're actually now just going to go down further? That will be proved once this little slow bleed to the downside that's happening right now tries to make an attempt to recover and get price higher again. It's that recovery there that's going to tell you whether or not this was an entirely fake move and it's over, or it's the start of a new trend to the upside. And what that will be is on the inside right side of the M, the market maker will likely show up 3 times. It will create a lower high and then we will fail from there. So when I say the market maker will show up 3 times, at somewhere in this consolidation here that will look like this, we'll see little vector candles like this. 1 push, 2 push, 3 pushes. It can be more, but it's basically minimum 3. We see that, and then there will be a failure to get back into this zone. Now, this is not a stopping volume candle, but it is an inverted hammer. So that would be what we were looking for if we were to believe that this move to the upside is over and done with. The other thing is I want you to be prepared for that to not happen at all. This is why I said to you, 1, 2, 3, you should be out of this trade if you're only trading it off the 15-minute time frame, because if that is a false move, if that really is what I'm suspecting, then this is going to be an inverted V and we're not going to come back for a second time at all. And that's okay. What will happen in that case is we'll break these EMAs, we'll come back to retest them. That's our confirmation that the move to the upside is over, and then we're going down further. So yeah, we don't have enough structure for me to tell you which one it is right now. I wanted to put this video out because it's the middle of the UK session, and I do think that end of UK or into US is going to be the one that makes the move, that either pushes us up, can't break back into this zone here, and then we know it's over, we're going down, or we hold the high of the day and then we start getting some strength moving up that looks like, as we're approaching this zone, it's looking fairly strong and we're going to get those levels feed up to the 1 hour time frame. Now let's have a look at what news events we've got going on today, because they can help us line up maybe when we will get that move. Today is Wednesday, the 2nd of August. And at 4:15 p.m, we have ADP non-farm employment change. So 4:15 p.m, that's Dubai time, by the way, that's going to be around the UK extension time. So UK extension happens around 8 a.m. New York. And if you have this is just called market session times. These little dots down here, it's called market session times by Trade Travel Chill. You just add it to your chart. And these dots here that are the turquoise color, they tell you when to expect moves in the market. So you don't actually have to do time conversions or anything like that. But around where this turquoise one is, not an exact science, but somewhere around where this turquoise one is in the UK, it's going to line up with that news event. And that might be the one that gives you the hint as to whether or not we're going to A, create the M to give you a better entry for a short, B, this is an inverted V and we only get an EMA retest to short, or C, we hold the high of the day in the 200 EMA and then the extension takes us to the upside and the US carries that on. So 3 options here. I'm putting them out nice and early. I don't have the confirmation to tell you which one it is, but hopefully I've given you enough information to know what to look for before you make your next trading decision. We can see here on the heat maps, what have we got going on? We've got 1.1K shorts in between the current 4-hour candle at 29,500. So if that level actually holds holds, if those short orders hold, then that means that this is the inverted V, and we're only going to get retests of EMAs before further downside. So if you have heat maps, keep an eye on that. If you don't have them, you know, it is a subscription to get it. It is a subscription to get high block. All of these things, all of these tools that help you learn to trade, it's actually cheaper to just join Trade Travel Chill and then get access to all of this stuff, because we post the liquidation levels 3 times a day, and we have our community and our team in there who can share the heat map data that you get from Trading Light if you need it. So instead of paying multiple subscriptions to get access to the stuff that I use to trade, just pay the one and we all share it as a community. If you're interested in that, check the links in the description down below. That is for the paid Discord, so you'll need to go to the website. We do also have a free Discord. There are conditions to get into that because we don't want spammers in there, but just to be transparent, we don't share that data in the free section. Now let's take a quick look at ETH, because ETH was a little bit different. It gave us a normal W, which was great. Unfortunately, the wicks of it was so long. And so that means that if you were to enter off this, you needed to have your stop loss right under here. So in order to be clear of, you know, where the damage was done. So it wasn't actually the best risk to reward trade. So if you are if you did miss out on this and you're like, oh, I missed out on the move to the upside, you know, if you're leverage trading, it wasn't even actually a good risk to reward. It was a 1.78 to 1, providing you had your stop loss where your stop loss was meant to be. You waited for your confirmation to enter, and you know what, it wouldn't have even had your take profit there. Your take profit would have been down here prior to this actually happening, because it would have been on this vector. So it's a 1.2 to 1 risk to reward. You guys didn't miss out on anything if you didn't get this. Hope that makes you feel better. But we want to look for what's moving forward. I'm telling you, because of this dead gap zone, don't assume that, okay, all they wanted was that liquidity down below and now we're going up. Be prepared for both on this one. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and turn that bell to also you can be notified every time I upload a new video. Don't forget to grab all of the links for everything you need in the description of this video. See you guys tomorrow.